Check. Check it. I just checked it. We're good. Nice to see you, everybody. Good to be here. My name is Dean. We're back. It is the start of the week, Monday. Had a busy weekend this weekend. Leafs didn't have a great weekend. I think the Oilers had a pretty good weekend. We're in Edmonton and Toronto. That's why it matters today. Welcome back to the program, Lochlin Cross, 957 Cruise FM.
Very concerned if I was a Leafs fan right now.
Oh, is that? Well, of course you would, because it doesn't matter. You got second place in the Eastern Conference sewn up. It's going to be fine. In the first round, everybody's happy. It's going to be good. You guys still trying to figure it out. Might finish top of the division. Might win a wild card. Never know. Plus, Jack Campbell.
You got a point. So I mean, there is a point there. I don't know. We're not talking about goaltenders. We're not.
I'm talking about whatever I want.
We're not. No. Shut the door. Because I don't know Jack what Campbell. Happened on Saturday.
Shut up.
Something happened. Something happened.
Yeah, you played the fucking worst team in the NHL. That's what happened. You played the Anaheim Mighty Ducks. Something happened. And they won 6-0.
Okay, a guy that lets in an average of 6 goals a game doesn't just magically show up and get a shutout against a good team or a bad team.
Yeah, they did. That's what happened. Jack Campbell still sucks. He still has a 4.22 save percent goals against. I think his save percentage is his save percentage is 12 or something like that.
You know what's going to happen? You know what's going to happen? I'm telling you what's going to happen is we've got one of the best teams in the NHL in the last 30 years. And we've got a goalie that's going to destroy their chances at a good run. That's what's happening here.
Where'd you get him? Where'd you get this goaltender that's going to destroy this run of a team that has been assembled through exactly. Boom.
This is part of my karma because I may have said a few things to Leaf fans when Campbell talked about how you guys prepare them and then we take them.
Yeah, that's what we did. You know what? We prepared Jack Campbell for you too. We're like, yeah, you can have him. There you go.
I got to say this. Can I say this before we move on? Because
we've got, hang on, let me just tee this up. We've got Trump to get to. He's in the air right now. We're going to relive his flight leaving the tarmac in Florida as he heads to New York to get cuffed and probed and fucking fingerprinted and charged.
They might cuff him,
today. Oh, yeah.
That's part of the thing.
I can't wait to get to it. We're going to have some fun with this today. We're also going to talk a little bit about male strippers. We've got a male stripper. Body Heat arrived in Edson, Alberta, not far from you. Your boy Jimmy, who you do a radio show with. He was on the bill. Saw some of the video. He looks incredible. He was incredible. He's standing by, so we're going to relive what it's like to be a male stripper through the eyes of an actual male stripper. But he goes by the name Hugh Halfner in these shows, as you can see, because he was on the actual. He was on the marquee. This is him. This is him in his nice floral number. He's standing by to talk to us about it. But back to what you were talking about the Oilers, Leafs. Leafs had a tough weekend too. They sucked. But we've got goaltending, I think. You don't.
Here's my thing with
the deal
with Jack Campbell. Okay. Skinner has been keeping our hopes, at least our hopes and dreams alive by playing okay and actually having a phenomenal rookie season for a goalie. And Jack Campbell has he's got one of the worst save percentages in the NHL this year, right? And he's got the best team that this city and possibly the NHL has seen in years in front of him, and he's shitting the bed. And you know what? Maybe he's freaked out a little bit about his big contract that he signed. It doesn't matter. I don't care. I don't want to get into the head of a goalie. We haven't got enough time or the resources. Or I don't even have the patience.
Or the interest. Right? I got to be honest with you. I don't have a ton of interest in going over it either, to be honest with you.
So, but I will say this. That game on Saturday night, he played like he was possessed. And the one thing that the hopes that I have for this team is that they make a decent run, like go deep into the playoffs this year. And I think we're going to see a Canadian team go deep this year. And I think it's going to be the Edmonton Oilers. And I hate saying stuff like that out loud because I don't want to jinx the team. But if Skinner can keep up what he's been doing, if Jack Campbell has somehow pulled the boogaloo out of his bum and figures out how to play again, because he can play, we've got a chance. of seeing a Canadian team lift the Stanley Cup. It's not going to be the Leafs. You guys are all going to die before the Leafs ever win a cup. But it might be an Edmonton Oiler win this year.
Maybe. You never know.
I mean, you're 50 now.
Yep.
They're probably going to put you in the ground before you watch your Maple Leafs.
And you know what? Here's the thing is, like I say this all the time, I'm actually okay with it because that's funnier than them winning. You know what I mean? Like, there's a funnier story in the perennial losses, in the first round exits, in the game sevens. It is way better content than, oh, they won? Fuck. You know what I mean? Like, that to me, like, thirsting a quench is one thing. The continual basing of a fan base that loses in the most spectacular ways. Like, I think Torontonians finally know what it's like to be from Buffalo, is my point. Yeah. Like, we are them. They are us. That's our sister city. We feel the same pain because we've gone through it year in, year out for the last 5 fucking years in a row and 50-odd years before that. So, to me, it's like the lovable loser loses again. I like that little narrative as well. Like, you're not going to catch me going, when is it going to happen? Oh, my God. Like, if I die and they never win again, I'll be just as happy as if they do win and I die. Doesn't matter to me. Both are fine.
The problem is that you guys aren't lovable. You're actually quite easy to hate.
Is it because we have all the nice shit? That's it, isn't it? It's because we're close.
It's your arrogance.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
probably.
All right,
probably. I don't disagree.
I'm done.
Okay.
Jack Campbell was possessed on Saturday night. Like, he was possessed something, and I'm like, who is this guy? I actually had a whole bunch of bets based purely on the fact that Jack Campbell was in net, and I had to cancel them because he was standing on his head. I had to like back out of about 3 bets because I don't want to lose. He was sick. It was crazy.
Well, keep in mind, he again played the worst team in the NHL, so it's not like it's that big of a deal. But good night, good for you, great. Playoffs are coming up. What are we? A couple of weeks away. Jays had a terrible opening weekend, even though they won 10-9. They dropped a couple of stinkers. Yesterday's game sucked, so that was no good. But
have lost that game yesterday.
Still, I know. Well, they should have because Chris Bassett has 8 pitches and can't throw one for a strike apparently. But whatever. But it was a nice weekend. A nice to have baseball going on. We got TFC happening. We've got the NHL playoffs in the pipe. NBA play-in tournaments coming. Everything's happening, including but not limited to maybe the greatest arrest in the history of arrests in the history of our world. And we're going to get to see it tomorrow. Donald Trump is flying currently en route, as they say. That's how they say it, right? En route.
En route.
He's en route to New York City, where he's facing not 1, not 2, not 3, but 34 criminal charges when he lands. Apparently, he's going to land. This is
it's a witch hunt.
It's
it's a witch hunt. I can't believe
that
somebody that used to run a country is being charged with any crimes. If I hear that one more time, I think we're in a lot of trouble when we take a former president and charge him with crimes.
Yeah.
What if he's a criminal?
Yeah. What if he did the shit?
What if he's a criminal?
What if he did the stuff? This is him leaving this morning. What if indeed he is the criminal that everybody says he is? And he indeed committed these crimes. And indeed there are 7 other investigations that are going into this man's ongoing freedom that are an actual fucking thing. And it's impossible because the indictment won't be unsealed tomorrow at 2:15 when he actually lands. But
nobody got that unsealed, eh?
No, nobody can. Nobody can get it. It's under seal. It's with the judge in the who's apparently commanding the grand jury, and the judge said, no. We'll unseal these when we read them to Donald Trump, the 45th president of the United States of America, who is currently on his way to New York, to get charged with 34 crimes. This isn't like one dude maybe doing something wrong. This is a guy who did things wrong and used doing things wrong and used lying and used cheating and used stealing as an opportunity for himself, and he just justified it for the last 70-odd years. So now he's getting it. Now, here's the deal. He's going to land today. He's going to Trump Tower. They have the entire route all the way there blocked off when he lands because no one is.
Oh, New York will love that.
This guy. Seriously. Oh, yeah, and they fucking hate the guy. Like, the New Yorkers who live in New York fucking hate Donald Trump.
Why.
Well,
why do New Yorkers hate him?
Fucking 40 years because he's
a criminal.
Exactly, and everybody knew it, right? And all the things that everybody talked about are true. All the things about him evicting black people because he didn't want black people at Trump Tower, getting rid of coma victims, working with the Russian government, giving embassies in entire Florida, conduct all kinds of clandestine business. All that is going to come out, but that's where he's going to land and go today. And then the only
one of my favorite memes
Trump ever paid. Yeah, that's right. But all of these things point to tomorrow, 2:15, where he literally, as soon as he walks into the precinct, the Manhattan Criminal Courthouse, his life will be, and this is what I loved reading today, his life will become property of the New York State District Attorney's Office.
Now,
he
hold
will
on.
have to hand in his passport. He is going to get fingerprinted. He is going to have a mugshot taken. He is going to be delivering remarks at the end of the evening, but all the stuff reserved for criminals happens to him tomorrow, 2:15.
Here's the thing, though, and I've said this multiple times, and I know that you.
I'm enjoying this.
Like, but why? Why do you care so? Like, I don't care. Like, honestly,
don't you like it when bad things happen to bad people?
Yes, but the problem is, here's what's going to happen. This is why I'm trying to be. Happen. This is what's going to happen with this whole situation. This is why I'm desperately trying to be reasonable about my expectations. In the United States of America, if you are rich, if you have some semblance of power, the legal system is different. It just is. Nobody will ever convince me otherwise. If you have the money and you have the influence, you're going to get away with things that I wouldn't get away with, that Dean wouldn't get away with, that other people would not get away with. It's the way that system works. They can sit here and try to deny it. It's impossible because there's countless examples. This man is a criminal, regardless of whether or not he was voted in as the president of the United States, the 45th one or not. He's a criminal. I think everybody, including people that even support him, realize that the guy's a criminal. He will never actually face the responsibility he will never live up to it. He won't go to jail.
Like he's never going to cop to doing it. Of course not. That's his brand.
This will get dragged out.
Dude, he lost.
This might even get him elected again.
Keep in mind. He lost.
So why are we celebrating it?
Well, because it's fun watching bad things happen to bad people. It's the best.
But it's not. He's going to cash in on this.
Oh, no, he won't. Now, not only has he got to deal with this today, he's got Georgia apparently filing charges next week for racketeering and treason. Suck on that. He can't run away from all this. He can't. He's got to fight 15 wars on 15 different fronts, and all of them come with very, very severe personal consequences and business consequences. Today, he is going to have to hand in his passport. He's going to have to hand it in. He's going to, boom.
I don't know. I'm going to have to see some examples of,
we're
him actually, actually having a negative impact on him. Like when I said he was never going to go to jail, I'm sticking to that. That is always, he's never going to go to jail.
Does being arrested count, though? Does being arrested count as going to jail?
Because he's not going to jail.
Charged. Yeah, he's going to jail tomorrow, 2:15.
He's going to the courthouse to get fingerprint, to go through a...
Do you know what happens when you get charged? You go to jail. And then they release
Trump
you
will
from jail.
not.
Yeah, he's going to be put in a holding cell. He's going to be put in a room. They're going to fingerprint him. Then they're going to mugshot him. And then they're going to send him to another room, a holding cell. And then he's going to make bail, or they're going to release him according to the because here's the thing. We haven't seen the charging documents. The other thing that this comes with are conditions. Everybody knows that. When you get arrested, thankfully I've never been arrested. I've watched people get arrested, and I've watched them get released on conditions. He's going to get released on certain conditions he has to abide by. And we don't know what those conditions are, but they will be set according to the severity of the crimes and how he has acted in public. And we've watched how he has acted in public over the past couple of days. Like when he changed the bio, he's like, hey, they're not coming after me. They're coming after you. I'm just standing in the way. Stochastic terrorism figures into these, talking about radical left monsters, indicating the 45th president of the United States of America is under attack and we need to go protest, saying everything's a witch hunt, and to go after the judge, Juan Manuel Marchand. I mean, the dude has been so off the chain for the past, I don't know how long, that these are going to come with conditions. So we'll find out what these are. It's just like it's impossible to say here's what's going to happen. He's going to jail, he's getting frog marched, or just like it's impossible to say this is a witch hunt. We haven't seen the charging documents, so nobody knows yet. Once those get released and we get conditions for his release, then we'll be able to have a fucking super fun conversation about how long he's going to jail for, if indeed he is. So it's going to be fucking fun.
Well, you know what? Honestly, I hope not only for your benefit, because I know how much you need this in your life, but for a lot of people. Like,
I've invested 6 years. Dude, I listened to your radio show prior to us doing podcasts. I heard your Trump breaks every day, where to the point where you got to, I don't know, maybe a year and a half ago, you're like, I can't talk about him anymore. It's bad for my fucking mental health. Like on your radio show, right?
I had to stop. I was obsessed with it.
I'm in it. Your obsession is, how can someone who's clearly a criminal, who clearly is an idiot, continue to skate like this? That's my life interest in this. And I've invested 6 years into it. And he is currently landing at LaGuardia Airport, getting ready to be consequenced for those things. So for guys like you and me, it's like, well, the world's right again. If someone who's an asshole, even though he's rich and was the president of the fucking United States of America, he is being treated just like us now. And that's the common bind.
I don't think he is, though. That's the, I don't want to,
maybe worse.
I'm trying to protect myself.
From
I'm trying to
expectations, you mean?
Yeah, I'm trying to,
Yeah, I get it.
This is in my book. I was grade 11, 12. Did you guys have gate night?
Gate night?
Gate night. Hell's night?
No.
We would go out the night before Halloween and raise shit. So teenage kids that didn't get to trick or treat, they would go out a day before, toilet paper, throw eggs, that kind of stuff. So I'm gathered outside the 7-Eleven, which is the meeting place in Creston, BC, just up from the high school. We're all getting ready to go out for gate night and raise hell.
Start shit,
right? And
be a degenerate, be a bad citizen, toilet paper people's houses, egg their homes, moon a lady as you're running away. I get it.
Devil's night.
Door.
Thank you, James. So we got we got a group of people, my buddies, and we're all standing there. And one of the little shits in the group, Charlie Goodchild, he's about 4 foot nothing. He takes a bottle of, or a big gulp drink, and he's finished it, and he throws it at the police who are standing around their cop car, just keeping an eye on a crowd of people, right? Okay, a bunch of kids that are about to go out and raise shit. Okay, the cops don't want to be there, right? And so this cop goes rolling up towards them, and they come at me, at the group. And who do they grab?
You.
The biggest guy.
You're the slowest.
They cuff me. They rough me up. They throw me in the back of a cop car, and they give me a $50 littering ticket. Okay? Right? I got treated like a criminal that night. I didn't even do it. Okay? Why? Because I'm not rich. I'm not Donald Trump. I got treated like any other asshole, right? And I have watched things like this happen in my entire life. Injustices like this.
Yeah.
Right? I even said to the fucking assholes that were hauling me onto the car, I didn't do it. That's not my cup. Don't care. And I've just gotten used to it. I've settled in. Does it still bother me? Yes. But we live in a world where injustices happen constantly. You watch inequity in our world, and I'm glad I learned that lesson at such a young age.
That life isn't fair.
Life is not fair.
Yeah, that's right.
And unfortunately, I think we've got a situation where a lot of people haven't learned that, and they never had an example of that. Something didn't happen to them specifically, like getting pulled out of a group of people for doing something you didn't do, just because you were the tallest and easiest mark in the group.
You're still quite upset by that, aren't you? Because we were talking about Donald Trump, and you're like, let me tell you about the resentment I have from being treated unfairly by the law when I was 17, because I was the tallest.
There's actually a really good ending to that story.
Okay.
And it's in the book, but you're going to have to read the book to get the good ending.
Ooh, my interest is peaked now. Well, dude, it's gonna happen tomorrow, 2:15. We'll keep you updated. I might even actually swing on at 2:15 to do a live update because there's so many people. I'm like gonna do fucking not in New York live update from Donald Trump's courthouse actual arrest. I'm gonna do that tomorrow, so we'll be live at 2:15 for that. That'll be a lot of fun. I've just enjoyed the process. Everybody else can enjoy it with me. We'll bring you a live feed from CNN, we'll steal it from somebody, and we'll let everybody know what's happening in real time, which will be a lot of fun. Speaking of little shits, ladies and gentlemen,
that might get us blocked. You running a live feed,
stealing a live feed from somebody. Yeah, whatever. Everybody does it anyway. I did it with 9/11. I stole CNN's feed and just put the camera up to put the actual television up to a microphone and then played the live feed. No one said anything. So I'm trying to do it again for this. It's big news.
Yeah, they were preoccupied with something else that day.
Yeah, preoccupied today with my friend, your friend, actually, not my friend. He's kind of my friend by proxy. James P. White joins the program, ladies and gentlemen. James P. White. He is your co-host at 957cruisefm.ca. You're wearing his fundraiser shirt, Shunt Off. Today, James, of course, lucky enough.
We never raised funds for that. It was beer money.
The shirt.
That's all we raise is beer money.
How are you, Jimmy?
We don't have a charity.
Nice
doing
right?
Good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Big weekend. You had a good weekend this weekend. You were on the show on Friday, even though you weren't on the show. We knew that you had a big weekend with the fellas at Body Heat, Edson, Alberta. This is the most fun you can have with your boots on. You were at Peeler's Nudie Bar in Edson, Alberta, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was actually the first time I've done a complete stage show. Like I've done, like when I was at Pinky's. Yep. When I was at Pinky's, I was on for 1-2 songs, but I did a full show. Did lap dances, all that kind of stuff. It was so much fun.
You enjoyed it. You enjoyed your time, is what you're saying.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I'm back, baby.
Hugh Hefner's back.
Hugh Halfner's back.
Oh shit.
Well, listen, you didn't go by yourself, which is good because you might have gotten rolled for a couple dollars in your pocket and some smokes because it is Edson, Alberta, after all. So you went there with the guys from Body Heat. Now we're going to bring one of the gentlemen in.
Edson's
who is Sean the owner? Is Sean the owner of Body Heat?
He's one of the main owners, yeah, and he's a great
dancer.
Guy.
Yeah,
he actually can dance. Me, I just trot around like an Easter bunny and just do weird things.
Yeah, we saw that. Please welcome to the show, Sean from Body Heat. He is a male entertainer. Dude, you're the first. This is the first time I've had 2 male strippers on the show.
The first time for everything, I guess.
Yeah, and I'm really happy that you're here. But nice to meet you, Sean. Tell me a little bit about Body Heat. Tell me about your crew, and how does one, other than looking vastly different than me, how does one get into the business of being a male dancer?
Well, basically, we just we tour around mostly Western Canada, and we're doing events. We call ourselves Canada's Best Undressed now because we used to host ladies' night events, but there's more and more guys that are coming to the shows, so we want to kind of include everybody, and that's I don't know. Yeah, we just do
Sean?
Our choreography and all that.
Do you go? Yeah, there's quite a show. Jimmy was telling me this morning. Like you guys are in sync and everything. But he was saying that out of the 4 of you, because he included himself in the mix, the 4 male dancers that danced on Saturday in Edson at Peeler's, he said that only 2 of you went completely naked.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not always. See, I thought, and we've told Jimmy, we're like, dude, if you're getting into the stripper thing, you got to get comfortable with throwing Big James out there for the ladies, and he's not there yet. Like,
it's I mean, it's up to the guys what they want to do, right? Obviously, whenever we do strip clubs, that's the only time that we'll do full Monty, is what we call it, where we show everything. But the majority of our shows, they're at like bigger event centers, casinos, sometimes smaller pubs, even banquet halls, all sorts of places. But
so there's a chance. The reason why you don't go totally naked at those places is there's a chance that your balls are going to brush up against some ladies.
Possibly. But basically, it's more of a we've added a lot more entertainment. There's games, there's prizes, there's all the choreographed routines and then there's lap dances, but we don't even need to show everything. But for those that want to see everything, then they got to catch a show at like a strip club. We do shows at Shade downtown in Edmonton there. So places like that, that's where we'll do full Monty.
So the show at Midway is not going to be cock out, right? Okay, all right. Because Jimmy's on the bill for April 15th now.
Yeah, he is,
so
yeah.
when the guys take down their gear and they're like, do they do any tricks with their, like, do they do the old helicopter or stir a drink?
We don't call it the helicopter. We call it the helicopter. That's
nice. Yeah, smart. Play on words, right? The helicopter.
I see what you did there, Sean.
Yeah. Okay, so how did you get in touch? I want to get into the routine and kind of because everything has changed, right? Since my last all-male review, all the rules have changed.
Well,
back in the day when Dean was stripping.
Yeah. Back in the day when I was stripping, it was rubber band or bust, but we'll get to those details coming up in just a couple minutes. So Body Heat is this traveling group of dudes, all fit, running around. You'll do, and they're all inclusive night. It's not ladies' night. It's Peeler's Nudie Bar, most fun you could have with your boots on. It was a Jack and Jill event, so people can book you guys. I'm assuming that's you in the middle there.
That's correct, yeah.
Okay, people can book you guys for parties, bat mitzvahs, I guess. I don't know. Like, what do you normally get booked out for, and how can people get a hold of you? There's the question.
Well,
so I want to help you do some risk business as well.
Yeah, for private parties, that's like we do our touring shows basically from the beginning of February down till the beginning of May, and then we just kind of stop doing our tour shows, like our club events and stuff like that. Mainly because it's Stagette season. Stagette season gets really busy for private parties, and private parties will go out and do like bachelorette parties, Stagettes, and birthday parties.
When the cock comes out.
Divorce parties, all stuff. So
you do divorce parties? What's the divorce party like compared to the wedding party?
What's the difference?
The jacket. Yeah. Take me through the vibe.
Can you tell us?
I bet you the divorce party.
Or are we all going to get arrested?
Sure.
I wouldn't say there's really much of a difference. It's just they all just kind of get together and it's just people wanting to have fun. So
are they Randy?
Usually it's a surprise.
Like dude, at the divorce party, someone's grabbing your hog for sure. Maybe not so much at the Jack and Jill.
We encourage the grabbing with the lap dances, but not. I don't know. We try to keep it professional, obviously. But
you encourage. So what's the difference? Because women, like my understanding, I don't know this, but my understanding is that because I've never experienced it. But like when you're with a female dancer, right? Let's say it's Body Heat for women. My understanding from going to your event is that you can look, but you can't touch unless there's an agreement. Do you guys have the same thing, or is it like, hey, you can grab my Jimmy all you like? But if you want anything else after, it's going to cost you extra. Is there a secret menu, so to speak? Kind of like at McDonald's.
Like the mountain at Arby's.
Basically with the females, I mean, it's a liquor license law, like AGLC law. So when there's alcohol present, there's no touching. There's a 3-foot barrier. That's why you can't go on stage with female strippers. There's always, even if there's 2 female strippers on the stage, and they're naked.
And guys are nude, dicks too, right? Like that's the other thing, right? Women are at least more respectful.
Well, it's the same thing for us. It's the same thing for us. So if we're going fully nude, we're not allowed to do any touching. But if you put a G-string on for guys, then that's considered not nude anymore, and then we can do lap dances. So.
What if a testicle makes an appearance?
That would be a wardrobe malfunction, and we know how that works with Janet Jackson and all that stuff.
So Jimmy was telling me, Sean, that he was actually kind of surprised at how touchy and slappy and feely the girls got when he was doing his show on Saturday. Did Jimmy get a little more than you guys would get just based on the fact that he's Jimmy?
I think the only difference is, I mean, there was lap dances for everybody that we did.
Yeah.
The portion where we show everything was before we do our lap dances. Like I said, then we put the on, then there's the grabbing and the spanking and all that stuff. But We do tricks, we do lap dances and all that. In order to incorporate Jimmy to do the lap dances, we just told them they had to sit on the floor. They don't get a chair. So they basically sat on the floor and he straddled them and did it. It was really good. So, I mean, they were just as grabby for him as they were for us. And it was
how's his stripper game? How's Jimmy's stripper game? Because how long have you been at this, Sean? And then we'll establish how good Jimmy was.
I've been doing it 13 years. Nobody gets good on their first show. Jimmy went over way better than any guy that I've ever seen go on for their first time, basically. I know he's had a little bit of experience at Pinkies and whatnot, but the crowd is going wild.
Some of the conversations I'm involved with, just because he's my friend, I have to sit back and go, we just, like this morning, Pinkies came up on my show. Pinkies came up.
We have a video on our YouTube page of me mourning the closing of
Pinkies. Sad day when they shut it down. Actually, that might have saved your life, because he used to do Thursday nights. They had an amateur night. I don't know if you remember that, Sean. And so he was kind of like the host, the MC, the mascot. He was Little Ernie.
Yeah, and, that was where Little Ernie.
Yeah, that's where Little Ernie.
Hugh Halfner was invented, I think. Wasn't it?
Anyway, and he would go Thursday night, and then he would Uber from the bar to the radio station and sleep at the radio station. And of course, he would just get shit tanked. So we'd get him up at like 5:30 in the morning for the show, and he would literally be a mess, like a drooling mess, sitting at the mic for the first hour and a half of the show until I got enough coffee into him that he could actually produce a functioning statement, right? Like, and that was every Friday for months. And he loved it. He loved it. That was...
Yeah, this is his routine, right? Like, we're gonna play a video coming up here in just a second, but like, what did you make of? Where did you put him in the routine? Like, how did you come into contact with Jimmy? Was it just like through the radio, and you're like, well, let's fucking add this guy to the bill because everybody wants to see a little person strip? Like, what was the impetus for that, and then kind of get into his act, if you will?
Well, the whole getting Jimmy into stripping thing, that started with Locke way back I met him when he was at the other radio station, and I had to basically.
Why did we have you down, Sean?
What? Yeah,
we had you down
because I started stripping, and then I did a strip tease for Jess Jackson.
Oh, a coworker. Yeah,
a coworker.
I still can't believe the conversations I have.
Yeah, and that was I heard it on the radio saying we need to judge his stripping, like from his smell to his dance moves to his like everything. And you guys had like a list of stuff that we had to check off. We went down to the radio station and watched him, and that was that's where I met him, and that was where we started booking him out for private shows. And
I think Jess laughed so
you're his
hard.
Agent? Hang on. Are you his agent or like pimp?
What do you call it?
I'm a friend that helps him make a little bit of money on the side. We'll call it that.
Oh, so you guys have known each other for a long time. This just doesn't come out of left field, right?
We figured it out as close to 10 years or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, because it was 2013, 2014, something like that.
Yeah.
Who books a little person like Jimmy? What kind of individuals are like, yeah, that's the guy I want from your roster?
Well, I mean, people will call Body Heat, like our entertainment agency, or Stellar.
It's the same guy you call for the horse, right?
Hey, I'm talking to that's actually a good question. I was getting mad, but that's a good question. Do you guys have a horse on your roster?
It's the same guy you go through if you want to have a sex show with a donkey.
We got it all. If we don't have it,
they also do little people, Dean.
Yeah.
We got a goat
and ping pong.
We got a horse.
They do ping pong, no paddles. They got a horse. Yeah. They got a goat. They got it all. They got a little guy now, Jimmy. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead. So
full menu.
My bad.
Full menu.
Now, can you just let Sean talk for 5 minutes?
No, that's okay.
Just be quiet. I'm questions, and you jump in, and you're like, "Let's talk about Cocktober." Let's not. Let's let him get to the end. So people call you and you book what, like the general bookings, Jack and Jill, Stag and Does. Have you done any at seniors' homes? That kind of stuff.
Actually, just not that long ago, there was a 97-year-old lady that came to our show for her birthday. So, and we had her come up during the show to help. Well, we don't tell them what they're coming up for, but we do a fake orgasm contest. So we bring them up, and then we had her do a fake orgasm, and she ended up winning actually. But it was quite entertaining.
I don't know if she died. On.
First, she said, "I don't know if I can remember how to do that." And then all she did was she went, I said, "Okay, I'm going to count to 3. Give me your orgasm." And 2, 3. And I handed her the microphone and she went, "Yippee!" And that was it.
Strangely enough, that's similar to mine. Winning, but, yeah. Sounds a lot like me, actually, in the moment. Yippee. Yippee, everybody. Yeah. Yippee, Dean got laid.
I just blacked out.
But yeah, we book anybody, anything. So I mean, we'll if we get a request, we'll try our best to.
Here's a question: how do you deal with the inclusive shows? Right, because you said you got a lot of guys that come to your shows now. You've been doing this for quite some time. Obviously, that has changed. You got to change the names of your shows to be more inclusive. To tell people you'll dance for anybody, because obviously you will. What's that been like?
Yeah, that was kind of a little bit of a changeover. Used to make it so that guys could come to the show, and I mean, we kind of made it so that they could come to the show and watch, but they couldn't get lap dances just because none of the guys were into it. None of the guys wanted to give a guy a lap dance because that wasn't their sexual preference. But the guys that we have now, everybody's cool with it. So each and everybody is okay to give a lap dance to a guy, girl, trans, anybody. Sex doesn't matter anymore. So
good for you. That's awesome. I was wondering about that when you said you had to change the name to be more inclusive. And it's awesome that you're like, hey man, yeah, I get it. We're here to turn people on. We're here to dance. We're here to entertain. Just because of what you got or don't got between your legs doesn't really matter. So show. I think it's really cool. Yeah, it's a show as a show, right?
It's more for the show. Like I said, there's more entertainment value there. There's the games and the prizes and all the choreography that we do. So it's shouldn't be limited just to lap dancing.
Attaboy. Is Jimmy a good dancer? Is he like a good dancer, or is it because like I've got to? We'll get to the visual here. Block's going. No, he's terrible at it.
I agree with
move. He's got one move.
Yeah,
I agree. I'm a horrible dancer. I'm not even arguing that fact. But
he's got a niche though. He's got a niche.
I try to be funny.
Yeah.
I'm a funny style.
Oh man, and the ladies love him. They love him. Yeah.
See, let's watch it together. This is Jimmy doing his routine. You want to talk us through it here, Sean? That'd be great. Here's you introducing him.
Look at how
hands above the
head. How happy everybody was. They're so happy. So you go up, and we usually do. We've got a song that we do with choreography, but he didn't
need it. He didn't need it.
He didn't have much for choreography.
I like the Walmart shoes.
No, those are Payless shoes.
And he got some ladies up there to spank him after.
Did he? Oh, he lost his belt. Oh, that's unfortunate. Your robe, he's got a cape over his head now. Like he's jerseying himself. And now he's like, took the robe belt off. Oh, a woman throws
they're throwing bills.
They're already throwing money up. Usually that doesn't happen till the end.
Yeah, well, they want a piece of his action.
Anything off. He took money off the belt.
Yeah, there's another $5 bill someone just threw on there. There's the cape over the head again.
He'll get it. Oh, he got it. Off. He got it. I don't know if it's in this video. Oh, here we go. That's a little around the horn.
Yeah.
So I gotta point out one thing, because I've known Jimmy a long time, and when I first met Jimmy, Sean, you may not know this. He wasn't as big as he is now. He's over the years, and he blames his weight gain on me. But he used to do cartwheel. It was right there. It was right there. Jimmy used to do cartwheels, and I think there was a moment there where he was going to do a cartwheel.
Yeah.
And he changed his mind right before he did the body roll.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I think we have to stop playing this because Dean's going to have a seizure.
I can't help it. My face is so red. It's just, you know what? It's killing me is that you're wearing your dad's lawn mowing shoes for your stripper event.
Here we go. Good. He's getting into it now.
Couple kicks. Yeah. That's it. I love it.
He used to be into karate and stuff like that. He's got to let himself go a bit.
There's a move that he was doing with his belt. It just made me remember that he knows how to use nunchucks. I was like, oh yeah.
Oh, he's got that down. Oh, now he's shirtless. Here we go. We did the round the horn thing.
This is the shirt malfunction.
Yeah.
What happens here? What do you mean shirt malfunction? The whole thing looks like a shirt malfunction.
Oh, right. I went to throw it in the crowd and I threw it to the side stage.
Redo.
Give it another there we go.
Yeah,
that's right. And there he is again. Hands up.
There's a reason for the hands up move, because usually when I'm dancing in a club, the hands up are protecting the face. It's sort of a subconscious thing. Because
do it again. Show us.
Because it's like this. It's protecting asses and elbows and purses from hitting me in the face.
Oh, okay. So that's that's just a reaction.
Oh my God.
Now hold it just a second. Where did you get that underwear? That is something else.
I got that at the Love Boutique.
Art and Roof Systems, weekday mornings on 95.7 Cruise FM.
By the way, Grant,
Roto-Rooter.
We're no longer sponsored by a plumbing company. We're now sponsored by a roofing company. You can't even make that up.
Jimmy, did you get assaulted? Did you get any propositions? Was it a good evening for your love life at all?
I wasn't really looking.
Oh, that's a great time for him to freeze.
Did I freeze? Am I still going?
No, go ahead. Don't worry about it. What do you mean interesting moments? Explain that.
I just, a lot, and again, a lot of really weird, touching, and it was kind of a lot of spanking.
Did you get spanked a lot on the bottom? Did you get your bottom spanked? Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's what during the lap dances there was a lot of that.
Did you mind it? Were people rough with you?
Oh, not rough enough.
Oh, you like that, do you? Any pregnant ladies in the audience? I know that's your thing. Any pregnant ladies there for you?
No.
Just want
not that we know of now. I don't know.
There was apparently one lady in particular that had her eye on Jimmy and got a couple of lap dances and the owner / operator.
Yeah.
What's that, Sean? You were there. You tell me about this woman that was sweet on Jimmy. Go ahead.
Well, I don't know. She ended up, like I said, she went up a second time, and then after we did pictures, she only wanted Jimmy in the picture. That is it.
Yeah.
Were you upset by that? Were you like, I worked out all this time and someone wants to take a picture with this guy?
No. We always everybody's got favorites and stuff, and we always just jump out. But yeah, it's usually, it's of course we're gonna have that when Jimmy's around. So
this is my favorite Jimmy of all time.
Well, and folks, if you're out there in listener land and you're not watching this on YouTube, Dean Blundell TV on YouTube or Dean Blundell Show or TV on Twitch, what we're seeing here are the hard bodies from the actual event, like Sean and a couple of other guys, and then there's Jimmy who's letting it all hang out, and he's in and listen, Jimmy, you're a robust individual. Let's just say you've got very erect nipples, and it looks like you just finished doing a 12-hour welding shift, and got some Lycra on and decided to go strip with your homies on a Friday night. Which is, you know what? That's the one thing I really respect about not just you guys doing this, because I would never take my shirt off in public for very different reasons. But not only does Jimmy do it, he is unafraid. He is full of courage, and he goes out there and dances and makes people laugh and doesn't care, to the point where he actually went to the Stag shop. Nice package, dude. That's a decent package on you right there.
Yeah.
For the shiny outfit, just so he could stand, and the appendix scar, which is
that's from the shunt.
Oh, is it? Sorry, I forget.
Shunt scar. I gotta say this. Can you take that down? Thank you.
No, dude, that is a good looking package for Jimmy. Like, those underwear make you look like you're hiding some heat, dude. Good for you.
So I got a comment to make, and this is why we love Jimmy. Okay.
Yeah.
So he tells us last week, he says, I got a call from Sean, and it looks like they want me to do this body heat show in Edson. And I went, awesome. I said, we're talking about that. So all last week, it came up on the show randomly. And at one point, Grant says to Jimmy, he goes, Jimmy, like, these guys, this is a serious group. Like, they have a show. Like, they work out. They have a routine. Like,
you practice.
You can't just show up and just do nothing. You got to plan. And Jimmy goes, man, I'm going to fly by the seat of my pants. I'll be fine. I'll be fine. I don't know anybody on the planet that would just show up at an event like this unprepared
with professionals who look excellent.
Yeah. And have no problem getting out there and just having fun on stage. Other than Jimmy, I would have been just terrified. Grant said the same thing. He said, I would have been so scared. I would have puked before I went on. Jimmy doesn't faze him, because that was what Grant said to him. He said to him this morning, he said, were you nervous? Because Jimmy was like, I was surprised they wanted me out on the stage as long as they did. I was out there for like 24 minutes. And he's like, no, I had no problem. I just went and did my thing.
You know what that is? That's Sean saying, hey guys, I need a smoke break, and I need to grab a crap. So let's put Jimmy up there for 24 minutes.
No, I don't know. Like, he's such an easygoing guy. And like, I remember my first time, I had them record it, and I watched it back, and I was just the whole time looking at my toes. You know, here I thought I did really good, and I had practiced and did all that stuff beforehand. But looking at the video, I was looking at my toes the whole time, and yeah, it's just it does take a lot of time to get into a groove, but he's a natural.
Do you
That's right. Think, attaboy, Sean. Way to build him up. He is a natch. Yeah. He really is. Yeah.
Do you think, is there some things he should work on before the next April 15th? Like maybe, some ab exercises or something?
Yeah, less arm exercises with the beers, and a little bit more sit-ups or cardio.
Yeah, he needs to get rid of the boiler, hey? If he's going to be an effective peeler, he really does.
Cardio.
Yeah.
We'll still use him. He's awesome.
This is the most exercise he's had in 6 years.
Are you sore the next day, Jimmy? A little sore?
He's still sore.
Little bit.
Yeah, that's what. Oh, here comes the shirt.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, that's right. There we go. Okay, well, from that, let's get down to the nitty gritty. Full nude shows. Jimmy, any desire to do the full nudes? Go full Monty? Do they pay more? I imagine they do.
I don't know if I'm to that.
It's less to go full Monty? Is it really?
The show pay is the same, but I mean, unless you're doing a private party, it's like we charge the customer obviously for that, and it's up to the guy what he charges. So. Do
you charge HST as well? Just making sure.
We always pay our taxes. Got to give the government their cut.
Attaboy, yeah, you can make sure you got an HST number. So Jimmy, would you do nude? Would you go full nude?
I don't think so. I don't know if I'm that comfortable yet. Plus, I also know what they do to make sure it looks good.
What do they do? Yeah. Take us through that. What does that look like?
The donkey comes back into play. So
explain. No. Now I'm very interested.
They put a ring on it.
No, yeah, how does it work? What do you mean? What's the prep? What's the prep work if you're going full Monty? I heard the balls take a beating and the shaft at the base, something you got to do something to it.
Yeah,
Pinch
so
something and
basically
tie something off or something like that. I don't know.
It's like a bracelet.
Yeah, when before we go to show, they're like, you don't just, get it hard on stage, or how do you keep it hard on stage? Well, it's not actually hard on stage, but nobody wants to just take their pants off and their underwear and have it just small there. You know what I mean? So you want to.
Are you saying you're a grower?
You gotta fluff it up a bit, is what he's saying.
Yeah, well, I mean, everybody is a grower, obviously. Everybody just is to what extent they're a grower of. But regardless, the blood just isn't there. It's not pumping through there when you're performing and you're doing a whole act beforehand. And we do some acrobatic stuff, like hands. I do a lot of handstands and calisthenics and stuff.
Can you do a handstand with a boner?
I've never tried it, but I mean, this is the process, like I said. So you basically on stage, just before we go on stage, we get it hard, and then we take a condom and we cut the top off and we stretch it, we twist it so it's like 2 loops, and then you put it at the base of your shaft, and then
penis.
And then
so the blood stays in there.
It's important to use scientific terms when we're discussing this, so we don't sound raw, disgusting, or perverted. So you cut a prophylactic at the base, and you wrap it twice around your penis. Correct?
You pull it all the way down past
the base of the penis.
Now, free of the balls, or were the balls also caught up in this contraption?
Free of the balls. That would be. I've done it. Balls in.
Yeah.
It's not very hard to get it off, and I mean, if you were to tie something around your finger like an elastic, and you go to take it off, even just to touch it after,
hurts.
When it's off, it hurts.
Yeah,
it's very sensitive down there, obviously, and the pain after you take that off for dancing on the stage for 20 minutes, it's pretty painful. So that's why
the balls are, so keep the balls out of that thing. If you're doing a show piece for your loved one, or if you're planning on getting into doing a body heat type stripper shows, full Monty, the great life hack to make it look semi-engorged, the penis, by the way, I'm speaking of the penis, is to cut a condom off at the base, twist it like you do to make a longer elastic a little bit shorter. You kind of twist it, and then you wrap that around the base of the penis, correct?
Yes. No, they go, a lot of times they go below your balls and right next to your body, Dean.
Right. So that's what
he's saying. You got to leave the balls out.
We leave the balls out, but they
go below the balls. They take the elastic band and put it right down to the roots.
No, Lochlin.
He just said no. He just literally went through this.
But I mean,
a lot of guys do.
I leave the balls out of it.
Let him tell us, Lock.
Personally, I leave the balls out of it just for the point of like pain, number one, and that you've got that thing double wrapped, right? So it's for show purposes only, just for the penis, right? When you're doing full Monty. So if you're going to be doing, like, if you're having intercourse with somebody, I wouldn't suggest using the condom method, but there are cock rings for that, and ones that go right around the balls. So just that we need to keep that blood in there, and when your blood is pumping through the rest of your body, that's why we wrap it twice and just really lock it up.
Wrap it twice.
So what you're saying is, don't use a condom, just like cut a condom open, then use that condom. That's when you should be using condoms. If you want to be a male performer, that's how you have to use one.
I don't suggest condom in any way, shape, or form if you're sex activities. But for show purposes, if you just want to show somebody,
okay, sure. Good. Is shaved out or in? And is it like the key to stripping? Because if I was ever, which I've never been, but if I was to go to a female burlesque joint, I would prefer to not, be teleported back to the 70s and 80s. So is it the same with?
He's got a hair thing.
I don't like hair.
He hates hair on any,
especially down there.
Yes.
But are women the same with men? Like, are you guys? Is that part of it? Like,
all the guys are shaved. Yeah.
Grooming. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Jimmy, are you shaving? Because that's something you're going to have to do if you go full Monty. You're going to have to shave it.
It's not that we have to. It's to each their own. But
that's right. That's right.
I think it looks bigger when it's shaved. There's a lot more there to look at.
Maintenance is key to the success of the male stripper. And I don't know if Jimmy is that diligent in that department, because we actually told him you may want to knock down the bush.
I did
go so it's not hammering out of your underwear.
I always do when I do strip shows.
So he's like, yeah, I got plans. My Friday night, I'm gonna shave her down.
You did.
Yeah.
So you did. You did shave before your show because you didn't want you don't want to look like you've got I don't know, Robin Williams in 1980 in a leg lock. That's not what you want in a stripper joint, right? You want to have everything nice and clean down there. You don't want tufts kind of seeping out from the inside of your gitch. But you were also wearing boxer briefs, which is cool. That had slices in them, so you left a little to the. Did they really?
I went all the way down to the G-string. Actually, I didn't even use a G-string. I used basically one of those black athletic supporters that I bought for that bit that we did for the show, Lock.
A jock strap.
The jock strap.
That was not a bit for the show. You can justify it as a bit for the show if you want. If that makes you sleep better at night. I was doing that for the children that go to Monster Pro Wrestling, because he doesn't hammer down he doesn't wear a cod piece when he wrestles, and he's in a onesie, and his unit is sticking out, staring at everybody. And I'm like, you need to find a way to strap that down. So figure out what the guys wear. So it was not a bit for the show. It was to save the children.
Save the children.
For Monster Pro Wrestling, for Christ's sakes. All I got about 15 messages when he was in his onesie, because he changed his outfit, because he went from a heel to being some other guy's now towel boy for Massive. And he's in a onesie and he doesn't wear any fucking underwear. And I had 30 people send me, do something about his dick, because his dick was just staring at us during the whole show on Friday. So I had like 30, and no one else has the courage to tell. So, and then what ends up happening, right? As soon as I'm like, dude, you got to get a cod piece. I've had a lot of concerned citizens of Edmonton that are wrestling fans about what you displayed on the weekend. Massive phoned me literally and went, thank you. We didn't know what to say to him. Massive's the head guy. He shows up and he's got the shit locker, so he can't see that his dinger is just like all right there.
Looks like.
Yeah. Now so does everybody else at your wrestling nights.
Now everybody. Yeah. And there's kids that go, like 8, 9, 10-year-old kids.
They go to the event. Yeah, that's the problem. Display. Like, you can go loose pencil. Like, you never have to wear underwear. But the problem is, if you're wearing Lycra, Jimmy, what happens is, and you can't see it because your stomach's in the way, and I get that part too. But the problem is that you get a full penal outline, right? So it's basically nudity on display for everybody, and there are kids at wrestling. So you probably should start wearing something underneath.
He is now.
Hide. Right. Exactly. Good. As you should, because no one wants to see the medical outline of your penis.
Thanks. We just go from talking about stripping, where I'm showing everybody my ding-a-ling, and then you go, okay, you got to hide that shit.
Different crowd. That's what I'm saying. Right?
No, you tried to pass off the cod piece thing that we did on the show as a bit. And I'm like, no, that was a parenting moment.
You turned it into a week-long thing.
That was me being your father. That's what that was. That's all that was.
No, it's you being a dink.
Yeah. Speaking of dinks. Anyway. Are you guys going to do another show? We'll let you go here in a minute. Sean, I know you're probably super bored of watching Lochlin and Jimmy fight because you hear it every day on the radio.
No, that's funny. Once again, my cheeks hurt, and it's just from laughing so much. Yeah, we are doing another show, so we're going to have Jimmy come down to the Midway Music Hall on April 15th. So that's
look at that slide. Look, he's
where do you get your tickets, Sean, for that? For the 15th show?
You can get them website. It's kind of we're in the process of updating our website, so it's kind of a pain in the butt to get the ticket. They are on Eventbrite is the actual ticket link.
Okay.
Other events that we have on there as well, but if you just type in the Google search bar Body Heat YEG.eventbrite.ca, that'll take you right to the Eventbrite link. So
All right. Well,
Awesome.
do me a favor if you think of it. Send me the poster and whatnot so that we can help you get some people out for that on the locker room. So
since we found out Jimmy was gonna do it, we've already updated the images and everything. He's right on there as well. So
Hugh Halfner's making an appearance, huh? April 15th. Hugh Halfner, this and that little beautiful package of his gonna be on stage.
Yeah.
A little Def Leppard, pour some sugar on me. Yeah, let's go.
Jimmy,
I'm hot, sticky, sweet. From my head to my feet. Now you're gonna do that one.
Cherry pie.
She's my cherry pie.
What did he use? He used Crying Like a Bitch, Bad Medicine, Porn Star Dancing.
There's a Nickelback song in there too. For
Guaranteed.
Burn It to the Ground.
Yeah, Burn It to the Ground. That was
Burn
in
It
there.
to the Ground. That was the one.
Yeah.
I'm adding Kung Fu Fighting.
As you should. Add the nunchucks too. Do it. Seriously.
You should bring
Jimmy,
the
great to
nunchucks.
see you. Yeah,
You'll
you
have
should.
props.
Because that makes sense.
You know what you should do?
Because
Because it's Alberta, you can totally do a cultural appropriation strip joint where you can get dressed up like Bruce Lee and really upset the Asian community. Not a bad idea.
Jimmy's got a little Asian in him, so it's fine.
Be careful. You might that night for sure. Anyway, have a great day. Jimmy, thanks for doing this. Love your courage. Love your strength. As always, we're never, ever making fun of you. We're just having fun with you. And listen, dude, you did
sometimes
well, Lochlin is. I'm not.
Lochlin takes full accountability.
Yeah, he does. He'll make fun of you. I don't. But man, I love you. I love your courage. If the world had an ounce of yours, we'd be in a very different place. And Sean, pleasure to meet you.
Well said.
Thank you.
Yeah. Body Heat. If you
Sean.
want to book Sean and his traveling group of big sex, including Hugh Halfner, all you need to do is Google Body Heat, have a look at the site, go to Eventbrite for the April 15th show in Edmonton. Great to see you, Sean. Wonderful to meet you. Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you.
Talk to you soon.
Keep in touch, Sean.
From Body Heat. You good, Jimmy? You all right?
I'm good.
Yeah, thanks for doing this. Really appreciate it. You look great. Talk to you soon.
Later.
Can you give a
See you
little
tomorrow, buddy.
stripper wink to the camera? There you go. That's
Good
disturbing.
Yeah, I'm not going to be able to masturbate tonight. Why do you do shit like that?
What do you mean? Get him to smooch the camera for us before you?
I'm blaming you on that one.
I know. And if you do masturbate, it'll take you forever because usually you recall.
I know that'll be in my
horny
head.
moment of your life. Yeah, that day, and you're like, oh
Yeah.
my god, Jimmy in a stripper outfit winking at me. Might as well just go to sleep. Anyway, thanks for doing this, dude. That was fun.
Yeah, he made bank too. Like he
Did he make big money that weekend?
Oh, we should have got him to tell the story. So he goes to the he brings all his cash in because they paid him in cash, right? And then tips and everything like that. So he's got like $500 cash in his wallet, bunch of loonies. He's wandering around the city. I shouldn't be saying this, but he's on public transit. Anyway, so he says, I gotta get it to the bank. So he goes to the bank today. He's telling me this story. He goes, this is pretty funny. You'll like this, Lock. So he goes up to the counter and the woman says, hi, how are you doing? And she goes, that's a lot of fives. What are you? Are you a waiter? And he goes, no, I'm an exotic entertainer. And the lady burst out laughing. And
he looked at her straight.
The people in line heard him as well.
How rude of her. How rude of her.
So they're all
to immediately discount that a massively overweight little person was not an exotic dancer. How incredibly rude. How non-inclusive.
The funny thing is that Jimmy will roll with that. It doesn't faze him at all. And he just, the fact that he was able to put a smile on that woman's face is all he cares about. Yeah. He's a good kid. He is. He's like a son, like a brother to me. So I'm probably harder on him than I should be because he also drives me.
Yeah, well, that happens when you're with people like 5, 6, 7, 8 hours a day. You just get sick of them. It's just a byproduct of having to spend time with the same
Wow, you
people
get
all
sick
the
of
time.
me. So.
No, not at all, actually. I don't get sick of anybody. Well, it's not true. I get sick of some. Yeah, I totally get sick of people. You're right. Yeah, just not you yet. That's just one of those things. But let me say this, and it's worth repeating. That man, James P. White, has the courage of 1,000 armies to get on stage.
I wouldn't have been able to do what he did.
In a fucking separate town. You don't know anybody. Dude went there on his own, didn't know the guys in the crew, didn't know who he's performing for, knows he's a little person and very overweight, and not only did it, but got right the fuck into it.
Yeah.
Like,
total
and
commitment.
had fun with it. Whereas everybody, guys like us, would be standing there with like our shirts on going, there's no way I can do this, right? There's no way. And we walk around like we own it all. And you put us in a situation like that, we fold like cheap suits. It's just one of the things that happens, right?
Yeah.
That guy, that kid, James P. White, that's life goals to have that kind of courage, right? Where it's like, I don't give a fuck what anybody says. I'm going to go have fun today.
And the thing is,
$1,000 just kind of rolling around on a stage and dancing in front of women for a few hours. Big deal.
I said to my wife, she says to me, she goes, doesn't he get embarrassed? And I'm like, no, he doesn't. He doesn't get embarrassed. It's hard to, you can embarrass Jimmy, with the relationship stuff. That's the one and only time, the few times I've seen him get embarrassed or meek is when he has a crush on a girl and we bring it up and there's a conversation about, that, right? That's the only time I've ever seen Jimmy get quiet. But he's a natural performer. He just absolutely loves it. And I told my wife that, and I said, not only that, he'll be the life of the party. Right. And I had videos sent to me from the owner who I said, make sure you get a picture because I need photographic evidence of him with the other strippers, which is the best picture. Like they're all ripped and Jimmy's like, and it was behind. Yeah. I just love that picture. And the look on his face is just priceless. So he sent me a video from the bar from behind the crowd. So you can't see anybody's faces. And the whole bar was going nuts for Jimmy, right? They loved it. Fun. Come on.
Yeah, it's fun, man. I'm watching him do, like, even just watching him in that little soliloquy you delivered, even watching him go and do that, thinking about whether or not I would be able to do that. And the answer is absolutely not. I'd be fucking petrified. I'd have a nervous breakdown before I went on stage. And that guy, no problem. Don't care. I'm just me and I'm here to be me, and whatever goes into that is awesome. Everybody should live a little bit more like Jimmy. Thanks for setting that up. Lochlin Cross 957 Cruise FM in Edmonton. You can listen to him every weekday morning. Best rock and roll morning show in the country at Lochlin Cross. You can follow him on Twitter. 957cruisefm.ca. Give them a listen every single weekday morning. If you're sick and tired of the same shitty radio that is absolutely everywhere and all the time, 957cruisefm.ca. Trust me when I tell you that. Thanks for doing this, dude. Great to see you.
And tomorrow we're doing Trump, full Trump show or no?
2:15. Yeah, we're on at 2:00. Just in time for his arraignment at 2:15. So we'll see you at noon your time, provided you can get out of work and do it. Yeah, 2:00.
Noon, mine. Okay, yeah. No, I'll be there. I just want to make sure I will be here at 12 Mountain Standard Time.
A little money on picture of him in handcuffs. We're gonna get it. I think we're gonna get it. 15 million. Actually, it's up to 20 million. That's what TMZ is offering.
Here's what I think is going to happen. I think that he has made arrangements with them that included him actually making an appearance. So I think he had his lawyers negotiate what he wants to happen. So he's going to try to make this fit into his idea of what this needs to be. So I have a feeling, one, we're not going to get a handcuff thing. And two, he's not going to spend any time in jail. Three, I just think he's worked it out. And he probably got it all because no one expected the indictment. No one expected anybody in the United States of America on any level of on the legal side to have the balls to do what they're doing to a former president. So the fact that he is even going to show up and that he got on a plane today, to me means that he actually worked out no handcuffs, no this, no that. I'm not spending any time behind bars. I'll come down. I'll make an appearance. I'll sit in the courtroom and then I'm going home. I would be very surprised if we get the typical things that happen to somebody that, regardless if you like him or not, he he is a former president of the United States of America. They're going to treat him differently. I'm sorry. They just will.
Well, we'll find out tomorrow. That's why we'll be on the air at 2 o'clock right here, wherever you get your podcasts, including Google, Apple, Spotify, etc. You can watch it live on YouTube. Dean Blundell Show on YouTube. Dean Blundell TV and Twitch. See you tomorrow at 2 o'clock for the event. I'm excited for it.
That was fun. Thank you, Dean.
All right, man. Talk to you soon, buddy. Lock and cross. He's out. Have a great day, everybody. Appreciate it. Thanks to our friends at Cantork that make this possible. At Cantork, they make hard-working, rugged, beautiful torque wrenches for industries that are impossible to find torque wrenches for. Do you know how huge some of the bolting solutions are in nuclear, railroad, mining, heavy industry, heavy machinery, the steel industry? You know how big some of those bolting solutions are? Some of these bolts are the size of your head, maybe even bigger. And you need a loosening and fastening solution that can be fabricated. You need someone to be able to show you how they are engineered and engineer something that is perfect for you in the application that you're looking for in any of those industries. That is what Cantork is all about. Go to cantork.com for more information. The best in sales, service, rentals, calibration, maintenance, custom fabrication of industrial torque tools. No matter the scale of that bolting, fastening, or loosening project, they will have your solution for you and take care of it from A to Z. Go to cantork.com for more information and ask for my friend Colin Livingston, who's just a NASCAR head. Race season starting, so the guy is all into it. Hates NASCAR as much as I do. But anyway, thanks to our friends at Cantork and, of course, kivlaw.ca. Kivlaw defense lawyers that'll fight for your right to stay free. How do you get your life back after you've been accused of doing something you didn't? Wrongful arrest. Maybe you're litigating something. Maybe you did something you should have. It doesn't matter. Rob Kivlikin knows his clients need honest answers about your situation from an experienced defense and trial lawyer that knows what he and your team need to get done so they can keep you free and get your life back. Legal help 24/7. Go to kivlaw.ca or just email Robert today, robert@kivlaw.ca. Again, robert@kivlaw.ca. It's free to talk to him, and it's really important to take care of your legal issues. Again, kivlaw.ca. Go to robert@kivlaw.ca. Email for more information. And, of course, Ed's Fine Imports. They sell Gitch. We are brought to you by our friends at Gitch, luxury branded underwear, engineered for any level of performance in everyday life, made for all levels of performance. Run, walk, or sprint through your day, and very, very, very soft, barely there comfort, moisture wicking technology. You'll never want to remove these things. Trust me. I know that because I own about 40 pairs of these things. They're the only underwear you'll ever buy. Boxer briefs, pouch in the front, extremely movable, extremely stretchable, and extremely durable. That's what you need. And you need the black ones because they're camouflage, if you know what I'm saying. But they got a ton of different colors as well as orange, red, yellow. I think they've got purple in stock right now too, but go and check them out. Go to Ed's Fine Imports. Order some underwear from Ed, specifically his Gitch, and he'll send you a free pair when you order 3 or more if you use promo code GITCH3 at checkout. Have a great day, everybody. Thanks for being here. We'll see you tomorrow on this very program right around 2 o'clock for the Donald Trump arrest special. Yeah. 2 o'clock, 2:15 is when it's going to go down. We'll see you then. Bye.